A lot of the symptoms that you're experiencing is part of the solution. It's part of eliminating through the body. As a result, think about it like this. Like quite often people get nauseated, which is the first sign or symptom that you experience. People get nauseated, and sometimes people even vomit during a detox, okay? Again, the first 3 or 4 days. This doesn't happen often, but it can happen. But this is why you have to understand that vomiting could be a way that the body could eliminate waste. And as you go through a detox, specifically like my detoxes, the herbs are very bitter. I won't lie to you, they don't taste good at all. And that bitterness is a result of having a lot of minerals and electrolytes in there. It's the minerals that increase the pH and make it very alkaline, okay? And alkaline things taste very bitter, okay? Now, most people are used to eating things that are very sweet, so they're not used to using that taste bud, okay? So when you bring anything, or introduce anything to the body, whether it's normal and it should be there, if you haven't been doing it for a long time, it's gonna make you uncomfortable. And a lot of times those bitter herbs will remove mucus from the lining of the stomach. All of that mucus is in the stomach. It will make them nauseous, and sometimes they will vomit. But guess what? They get rid of the mucus, okay? So it can be part of the solution. So that's number one. The first sign you can know that the detox is working. You're, feeling a little bit nauseated, maybe even vomiting a little bit. The second sign could be that you have strong body odor, okay? And you have to understand that, like when you're doing a full body detox, it should clean your digestive tract all the way from your tongue to your anus, all the way through. I mean, everything. It should clean your tongue, your stomach, your small intestine, large intestine. It should even clean some of the surrounding organs like the pancreas, okay? That's really important, okay? And if you're eliminating from the tongue, just think about it. When people wake up in the morning, some people breath doesn't smell good. And the reason why it doesn't smell good is because guess what? The tongue is an elimination, part of the elimination process, meaning you're eliminating toxicity through your tongue in many cases for a lot of people. And some people, that toxicity doesn't smell very good. So it's the same thing when you have body odor. A lot of the toxicity that you're eliminating through the body, from the body, is in the gut. And people have between 10 and 25 pounds of undigested food in their gut, okay, just sitting there. I mean, people have it sitting there for weeks, months, even years in some cases. And so that food has rotted and fermented, okay? And so once you start finally eliminating it, okay, it's not gonna smell very good. But you have to remember, a lot of people have between 10 and 25 pounds of undigested food in their gut, which is why they have the belly, okay? So once you start to eliminate it, all of it doesn't eliminate through the colon. Some of that toxicity can be eliminated through the skin. And that's what gives the body odor in the first couple of days. So that's number 2, all right? Number 3 could be swollen lymph nodes. And I had somebody actually experience this during one of my group detoxes. A lymph node in their neck got really swollen and really big, okay? I've also had people have lymph nodes in their groin, even in their elbows get kind of swollen, okay? But what's really important to understand about that, and see, that's the important thing, having understanding, like what is the lymph node? The lymph node is part of the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is essentially the sewage system in the body to get rid of acidity, to get rid of toxicity, to also get rid of infection, okay? So the body may have a low-grade infection that you don't even recognize because you might not have a fever, but you may have a bacteria in the body, you may have a virus in the body that you don't recognize, but the lymphatic system will find it, collect it, and segregate it from the body. And then it will take it to lymph nodes, okay, to be processed and, eliminated from the body. But inside of that lymph node, your body is mounting an immune response. So in the mix of mounting that response, it creates inflammation, which makes it swell, okay? And that also makes it tender, okay? But eventually once that virus and bacteria is, eliminated, white blood cells come in, kick the butt, and then it's out of there, Okay, so your lymph nodes being swollen is a sign that your immune system is working, which is a good thing. That's part of detoxification, not only to get rid of, toxicity from the body, heavy metals, acidity, mucus, those type of things, but it's also there to get rid of infection and bacteria and viruses out of the body too. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4 could be gas and bloating. You have to understand, especially if you're doing a detox like mine, where you're doing herbal detoxing in combination with a plant-based vegan lifestyle. So no meat, milk, no dairy, no processed foods. Okay, when you're doing that, you're introducing, for many people, a lot of additional fiber that you're not used to getting in your diet. And that additional fiber, although it's good, your bacteria in your gut may not be used to it. Okay, and consider the fact that even though you're introducing good food to the body, there's also that 10 to 25 pounds of undigested food that had just been sitting there. So that good food is now trying to push against all of that impacted food, that waste that has been there. So that can create additional gas and bloating. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 5 could be a change in bowel movements. And it makes sense from what I just mentioned. You're introducing more fiber to the diet. You're also introducing more water to the diet, because fruits and vegetables have water in it. And how do I know that? Because you can juice them, okay? But in addition to that, the herbs, if you're doing your herbal detox, will have herbs in them that move the bowels, okay? So it's gonna change your bowels. I meet people who commonly have bowel movements every 3 days, some people once a week. So you can literally go from having a bowel movement every 3 days or 1 to 3 days to 1 to 3 bowel movements in a day. Okay, so be prepared for that. Also be prepared for soft or loose stools, because again, you have 10 to 25 pounds of undigested food in your gut. So all of it isn't gonna come out in this solid form, all at once. So, and considering that you're using herbs in this case, the herbs act in many cases like a mild diuretic. They also help the stomach increase peristalsis, which is movement in the bowels. Okay, so you could have loose stools. That's not a sign for caution. It's just a sign that the detox is working. Okay, so that's number 5. And then you also can experience mood swings. Okay, and you have to understand, like, experiencing mood swings, because it could be things like sugar. Okay, sugar, which is a neurotoxin. Things like MSG, which again I said is a neurotoxin. Nicotine, things of that nature. Things that can cross the brain-blood barrier and affect the mood, that are now being pulled out and put into the blood. Okay, those things could affect the mood and change your mood, so you can become very irritable during the first 3 to 4 days. Okay, which leads to the next one, or the 7th, is headaches. People commonly get headaches because, again, you're pulling all of this toxicity. I'm talking about decades of toxicity out of the tissues, out of the cells, into the blood to be eliminated. But in that path between elimination and removal, it's in the blood. And during that time, it could cause, a headache as a result of that. So keep that in mind. But it's usually a dull headache. It's not one of these crashing headaches that send you home from work. And then the last thing I'll say, can cause fatigue. And I always tell people, when you're doing herbal detoxing, the first 3 or 4 days, people always ask me, can I work out during the herbal detox? And I always tell them, yes, you can, but if you feel fatigue, rest. Because guess what? While you're resting and you're getting sleep, the great thing is that while you're asleep, your body is going through this healing process. It's rejuvenating, but it's also the time when our bodies will burn fat. Okay, so a lot of times people are worried about going to the gym because I need to burn these calories off. But at the end of the day, if you're doing an herbal detox and you're resting while doing that herbal detox, it's doing the work for you that you would have done at the gym, okay? And I think a bonus sign that the detox is working is that as you start to navigate on the other side of the symptoms, you will experience, an increase in energy, an increase in libido, which make your partner happy if you have one. You would experience an increase in sleep, so you will sleep better. And in many cases, you won't have to sleep as long and you will wake up feeling refreshed. So instead of having 8 or 9 hours of sleep, you may be able to sleep for 5 or 6 hours and wake up feeling fully rejuvenated. I had times when I've been on a herbal detox and I would wake up literally at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like I could literally wake up and throw my track shoes on and go out running immediately. So you'll experience that. You will feel lighter, which is something I really can't explain.